Hi guys! Pardon me for looking off to the side here. I'm trying to figure out how this new program I have works. It's called Camtasia Studio. It looks really cool so far. Anyway, two new things. First of all, I'm sorry I haven't been putting any new videos up. It's just a lot of shenanigans have been going on and there hasn't been a whole lot to record about. Anyway, one big thing, I have a new job. It's at Walmart, and it's so much better than my last job in so many ways, and I'll go more in depth on that in another video. This is about something else. And here's my other announcement. I'm pregnant. Even as a trans guy, I still want to have kids, and before I start hormones and everything, I want to have at least two. This is going to be my first one, unless it's twins, and then that's it. Anyway, and so I know I've said this before. I know I've talked about being trans and pregnant before, but now that I am pregnant and I'm living this, it'd be a bit easier for me to talk about it. And I'll give you updates as we go along. So far, I'm feeling alright. Not really that much different. The biggest thing that is actually causing me issues is the fact that because my breasts are so sensitive and they get sore so easily, and they're bigger, I can't wear a binder. Like, I tried. It hurts way too badly for me to be able to do that. So I have to wear a bra now. And as any of those people who were born a female and wear binders because they don't feel comfortable with their body because they feel they shouldn't have been born a girl, you understand. It's not comfortable wearing. It's very dysphoric, or you're just like, I don't like this, but I have to, and it's really stupid. And what's worse is, at my new job, like, as soon as I started working, everyone instantly called me he. And occasionally they'd mess up, but they'd instantly fix it. It was absolutely amazing, and I love it. As soon as I started wearing a bra and everyone found out I'm pregnant, she this, she that. And I haven't been able to get up the courage to tell them that they're wrong, that I'm a he, and it'd be really hard to explain, but I need to do that for my comfort. I don't care what they think, it's for my comfort. Now, it is completely up to you, but if you're just really uncomfortable with people using your birth pronouns, tell them. First of all, they won't know if you won't tell them, and second of all, if you do it enough and often, they'll eventually start getting it right unless they're doing it on purpose. And then please just hope they're not. Anyway. Yeah, some of the biggest things is dysphoria, people giving you funny looks and being like, you're not a guy, you're not trans, you have a baby, like, you don't understand. I still identify as a guy. I am just physically able to have kids, and I want to have kids. There are plenty of men who were born men, and, it doesn't really matter what their sexuality is, who want to have kids, like, with their physical body. They physically cannot. So it's not like it's unheard of, but the instant you even slightly portray as a girl, even if you're trying to portray as a guy, if you look anything like a girl, they're going to misgender you, and it's stupid as all get out. So, starting when I go back to work on Sunday, because I'm off for the next 2 days, the moment someone misgenders me, it's he. And I'll explain it to them. And this next part, it's up to you how you want to do it. If you go right out and just say, I'm a guy, people will be a bit more confused, but that's on you. You may say whatever you please. For me, I'm just going to tell them I'm a trans guy. I was born a female, but I identify as a man. Now, I don't particularly care for saying that. I feel much better saying I'm a guy, but to me, it's easier to explain I'm trans. Again, that's completely up to you. And by the way, having kids is also up to you. If you want to have kids, great. If you can physically have kids and you want to have kids, great. If you physically cannot have kids for whatever reason, like you're a trans woman, something's wrong and you physically can't have kids, but you want to have kids, I'm really sorry. There are ways to do it, like artificial insemination, which I think is literally just test tube baby. You put your DNA, or if you have someone you want to share your child to share the DNA with, or you want to have a mix of your DNA with someone else's DNA, they can do that. And even if you just want to do yours. Surrogate mothers. I tried recording this video before and I completely forgot what that was. There's also that option, which is literally, you can either just give your DNA, just one person's DNA, or you can give you and your partner's DNA, if you have a partner or someone you want to share the DNA with, and basically have a person be a test tube. I offered this to one of my friends, but they figured out why they couldn't have kids and they're fixing everything. It's a fixable problem, so they're going to have their own kids. But I offered forth my body to be a test tube. To be a human test tube. Anyway, so there are options. And another thing for trans guys, I wanted to get a top surgery before I had kids, but it's not going to happen, at least not till after I have this one. And then trust me, after I have this one, I'm going to be careful until me and my fiance are actually ready to have the second one. Anyway, you can still have a child and feed them without breasts, without milk. They make milk for newborns and formula. I'm sorry, I can't think off the top of my head. I think they might have powdered formula, but I think it's mostly liquid. The point is, you can feed your child without breast milk. They make this specifically for women who breasts are too small or for whatever reason their breasts cannot produce milk. Now, it is suggested that you breastfeed your child because you're supposed to be able to feel really, really close to your baby, and it's a wonderful feeling. But more importantly, you can pass on important antibodies that you've built up an immunity towards, and you can give it to your child. There are other ways to do it. It's just I think that's the best way to do it. But when we have our second kid, I'm going to be extra careful with this child, vaccinate them and everything. I'm going to vaccinate my first child and everything, of course, but, because I'm not breastfeeding my second child, I'm going to be very careful with them. On a quick side note with newborns, you want to be very, very careful when you are sick. You don't have to, stay away from your baby, but you have to be very careful, especially if it's you're going to take medicine for it. You have to see if you're okay if you're breastfeeding your child. You have to see if it's okay for you to take. It's not going to harm the baby. In fact, it could very well help the baby. It just depends on what it is. That's why a lot of things you see, if you're pregnant or could become pregnant or you're breastfeeding, talk to your doctor before using this medicine. And that's actually very important. You need to do that. Because most of those medications, they could be perfectly fine. I personally don't know. You would need to go to a doctor to see. For example, I really need my flu shot because I'm diabetic. And my immune system is lowered, and for me having the flu would be very, very dangerous, especially being pregnant. But I need to go talk to my OBGYN, which I believe that just stands for an obstetrics gynecologist doctor. Baby doctor, basically. But I need to go talk to them before I can get my flu shot. And also I have to talk to them about depression medication. Now, from what I know, there are potentially a few medications that you can take while pregnant, antidepressant medicines you can take while pregnant, but depending on the severity of your depression, how strong of medication you need to talk to an OBGYN. For instance, I was talking to my doctor about it, and I made the appointment before I even knew I was pregnant, but I showed up, told him, I am pregnant, and he said, well, I do not want to give you any medications, because he personally did not know. He knew of medications, but he did not know which ones were okay for me being pregnant. And I'm not upset that he didn't know that. You know, he's not a baby doctor. He's not even, I don't even think he's a pediatrician, or, you know, which is child doctor, small children. I think he mainly works with adults. So, I mean, he might be good, like, if I want to go for just regular checkups or something, but you should go see an OBGYN for that sort of thing, because they are trained to look at baby and be like, okay, baby is good, you're good, you know, stuff like that. So we've already hit 10 minutes, so I have less than 5 minutes to finish this up. Basically, if you want to have kids, and you identify as something other than female, you need to be careful, because your depression, if you have depression, it could worsen. Your dysphoria could worsen. It just really depends on how bad it already is, and how easily you're set off by someone misgendering you. You need to evaluate, can I mentally handle being pregnant? Not to mention, there are many hormones involved with making a baby. So your hormones could be all over the place anyway, but with dysphoria and depression, it'll be worse. So if you have serious mental issues, or any mental disorders or issues or anything like that, you need to tell, if you plan on getting pregnant, you need to tell your doctor, and you need to, I'm not really sure if you can talk to an OBGYN unless you are pregnant. You might be able to talk to them if you plan on getting pregnant. If you want to become pregnant and you want to have a baby, it probably could be a good idea to talk to your regular doctor first. They might send you on to an OBGYN, but anyway, I think that's about it. If you have any questions in general, you can literally just look them up online. I don't think there's a whole lot talking about trans men and babies, and I'm pretty sure there's even less with other genders. But my biggest advice to you is just be careful. Just in general. If you have any questions, you can ask me, and I can try to figure things out for you. If you have any personal questions about it towards me, I mean, there are very few things I won't answer. But if there's, like, personal questions that I can answer that relate to you, like being depressed and being transgender, such things like that, I will do my very best to answer them. On a side note, it's actually starting to cool down here in Cincinnati. I am so excited. Fall is around the corner. Finally! Which means Halloween is next. I know we're almost a month away, but Halloween, guys! Halloween! I think I'm gonna be mulling for work that day for Halloween. I had to think about it. Anyway, so I hope you all have a wonderful day, and you stay safe. And any questions for me, I will gladly answer them. Bye.